Welcome to Cryptic Concepts. For all you UFO believers and Roswell, New Mexico believers, and everyone else in between, the Matrix and the obscene. Here we are in Cryptic Concepts. Only you can believe. We just have to see it.
That's pretty good.
I was about to say, that's a really good one. Isn't Roswell a real place, though? Okay, I just want to make sure, because you're like believers. I was like, I think that's real.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to go straight into Justin Bieber and Believers.
Oh, I swear. That's where I was hearing it.
Anyway, this episode we're talking about how's the world going to end?
Got a couple of theories.
Yeah.
And some that are probably not even realistic at all.
Probably, honestly. I ain't going to lie to you.
But let's talk about it.
Of course.
So,
Anything from natural disasters to man-made shit.
I think all of our ideal situation would be for it not to happen.
Big facts.
That we all go back like the way it was, I don't know, 10 years ago, probably.
Yeah.
Seemed to be a little better,
Much better.
better time for all of us.
Before the annual disease disaster pops up.
Maybe not for. Were you born yet?
Oh, yeah, maybe. I was 2000, so.
Oh, okay.
Little kid, yeah.
Okay. That's good. It's still probably better though, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, better toys at least, right?
Yeah, exactly. Better everything.
Yeah.
I didn't get better toys till like I grew up. So.
Yeah, I didn't either, but that's part of life.
I was gonna say I got hand-me-downs, fuck it.
As you guys can see.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
So I believe
Yeah, you can go.
personally that it can either go one or two ways, which would be natural disaster or we fuck ourselves up. Natural disaster, I believe iceberg's gonna melt, water's gonna keep rising until there's like very small islands all around that mankind can live on. So like maybe 80% of humanization was gonna die.
Bored him already.
Already, he's starting to yawn.
Yeah.
Or
Never.
or shit's gonna pop off. So whoever has access to nuclears is gonna get mad and decide to push the big red button because no one has decided to push the big red button yet. There's always gonna be a first. And when they do, it won't kill us all, but life will be really fucking hard.
We still have the most nukes, though, so retaliation strike.
Yeah, motherfuckers.
Retaliation theory, you know.
Yeah.
We supposedly have the most nukes. That's another theory. We may not.
Well, that's a theory about if someone were to press the big red button, then everyone else is going to press the red big button, and then there's going to be nothing. Because everybody's going to press the big red button.
Why
so
would
there's
you
one
pass
person.
up the chance?
Exactly. Chain reaction. The first person that does it, it's like, oh, you're going to hit us? Well, we're going to hit you, and then you're going to hit us, and then somebody else is going to hit them, and then...
Okay, this is good. Let's do. I'm keeping this in here. Let's do the real ones first, and then go off the wall.
Okay.
Since you started with the real.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you think on his disasters, like icebergs?
It's realistic. It's you know, everybody's believing in the environmental crisis, the icebergs melting and everything, and global warming. That's the whole, you know, that seems possible because just the way things are, sea levels rising, everything seems possible. But at the same time, I just can't give in to the fact of the icebergs and all that because if you think about it in all reality, the ice is already in the water.
And
if you know about water displacement, if you put an ice cube in your glass, even when it melts, it's the same amount of water, it's the same amount of space. It's not going to get any higher than it was before. There has to be some external factor, some external water weight that's in the water that makes it rise. So that's why I don't believe that.
The ice could also contain like pathogens. Like they found shit in the ice that they haven't heard from in thousands of years.
Or never heard of.
Or never.
And that's a whole nother thing. That disease, definitely can take us out. Disease has always been around mankind. Black plague, you know. You have all these things from all of history, smallpox, you know, sexually transmitted disease. Everything has just wiped out people, you know.
damn people fucking monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Those people fucking
Like,
monkeys.
bro,
man.
that's
Them run
like the
world.
first podcast. You can't leave humans alone with anything. We're gonna find a way to fuck it.
Exactly.
I don't care if it's a hole in the wall.
Magic Johnson's magical for a reason.
Yep. Exactly.
It's completely cured now.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Supposedly.
Yeah.
See, it's that rich people problem. They got the money to spend on it.
Right.
We catch AIDS, we're just gonna die. They're like,
That's how you cure AIDS.
Nah.
You just take your money and you grind it in a blender, you drink it, and then you're cured of the AIDS.
hey,
You no longer have it.
I knew that was going to pop out.
yeah.
Okay, so the iceberg thing, I understand both points.
Mm-hmm.
However, if let's say there's some way, well, we could probably do an experiment on this because I don't know if anybody's done this before. Take half a cup of water,
Mm-hmm.
right? Lay it on its side. Put half the opening closed, like with something. I don't know,
Yeah.
Seal it.
Yeah.
Half a cup. Lay it on the side and freeze it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then stand it up. Add water to it. To the top. Not even to the top. Close to the top. And then see if the water displacement happens.
Like the ice was there, then the water came.
Right, like the ice was a land mass.
See, the problem with your experiment is that you've added water after it has been frozen. So you're adding something in. You're making it more than it was.
Well, ice also expands as it freezes.
Exactly.
So it would.
But that's besides the point. Oxygen's released in the water cycle. So it's going to be the same thing when it unfreezes. Some of it's going to evaporate in the unfreezing process, and it's actually going to be a little bit less than what you started with. But if you added the water, like you're saying, that's foiling the entire experiment because you're adding an external amount of water. Like I'm saying, if it was the Arctic, or however, we're not dumping water that we've gotten from nowhere into the Arctic. It's just melting naturally.
The only thing I'm thinking about is also water underneath. Okay, let's take this to the next step. Then I get you. Let's take this next step. Let's do a cup 3/4 of the way full of salt water and add in freshwater ice cubes.
That would be
What about that?
That would be more interesting to see because I don't know much about the effects of salt water versus fresh water.
I don't either.
Exactly. Because that's a whole nother thing when you're mixing it because salt water's more dense.
Right.
So that's why
So
if you're in the ocean, you float.
overflow. So
It's kind of like what you were saying with the Dead Sea, though.
We'll do this experiment once. After we're done.
Remember what you were telling me about the Dead Sea? How it's not dead no more? That was you, right?
Yeah.
But
You hear about that?
I don't.
You don't know about the Dead
So-
Sea?
Well, I know about the Dead Sea, but I don't think that you told me anything about it.
Oh, okay. So the Dead Sea had so much sodium in it from the salt water that it basically formed a little mini pond of itself, that was still attached to the ocean.
Super concentrated.
So the water evaporated, right? Because over there, everything was drying up like crazy. Well, now the new ocean water came in and filled it back up. This happened recently. And now it's not the Dead Sea anymore because there's living creatures now because there's not as much salt content because of the water drying up.
I don't know. I feel like it's got to be either misinformation or something because
It's very possible.
it's possible, but you think about it in the long term aspect. If it dried up,
No, I mean
it's still-
misinformation thing. It's
Yeah.
very possible
Yeah.
misinformation.
It's like this. So once you think about it, like
Sorry
if you have
about
a cup of salt water and you let it do the water cycle, let all the water evaporate, all you're going to be left with is salt.
Mm-hmm. That's how they get.
So, like if you're saying in the pond and it all dried up, all that's left is salt.
Yep.
And then, unless somebody took all the salt out of the pond and moved it somewhere and used it, or however, then it could be possible because then it's like there's less salt. But if new ocean water came in, it's still going to be the same amount of salt.
That's
if
very
not
true.
more because you got more salt coming with the salt
Yeah,
water. From the
Because,
ocean.
he brought it up. I didn't do a whole lot of research on it. It's just something a video I saw or something I read or something like that. I can't remember what it was or where I saw it. But I know it was a recent thing. I'll have to look into it more.
Do y'all believe in the Great Flood? Do you believe it actually happened? Flood that
Like
flooded the earth?
Pangea,
Nah, the flood. Like, it's in the Bible. It's written down in
like Noah's Ark and
tablets.
all that. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like that was just the asteroid hitting, man. To be honest, because when you think about it, if an asteroid hits,
In the
it creates a
ocean.
tsunami and it creates earthquakes, which create more tsunamis, and that could potentially flood the earth.
Mm,
Like if you ever seen like footage from like Japan
mm,
when they have tsunamis, it's literally like there was
wave.
never a city there.
Yeah.
It's just water. That's it. You don't see anything else. It just comes in and there's nothing else, and it lasts for weeks, months. It really depends on how much water's there and how big of a tsunami it was. But like that's a potential thing. But I still feel like it was an asteroid or something with great impact had to have started all that. You know?
Do you know where it hit?
No, but see that's the thing.
Do you
That's
know how long?
but that's another thing I was going to bring up is that it could have hit, and it could have hit the ocean.
Like,
We
way the
haven't
fuck
explored
out.
our oceans, so we don't know.
Yeah.
It could have been over there in New Mexico. It could have been where what's it called, the ravine or whatever.
Mm.
You know, because that's like one of the
That
Marianas
really,
Trench.
yeah, the deep ass
Yeah,
hole.
one of the deepest trenches we have in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It could have hit there, and we just have no clue. And that could have started everything.
Okay, you need to look up Graham Hancock. Yeah. He has many theories on this.
Yeah, that just seems like a plausible thing.
He found a possible location of where it hit in the ocean to the left of Oregon. You can almost see from images and LiDAR that there is a large shelf, which is where why Lower California, once you start heading north, it just turns into like a cliffside,
Yeah.
like mountainous cliffside, because that's where they think it is. The edge of it so began
Okay.
about 12,000 years ago. But when it comes to the flood, I think both are right because it's not just in one thing.
It's in multiple.
Yeah, every culture across the world talks about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I do believe it could have been from
An asteroid.
On this side of the world, fucking up that side of the world from tsunami. Because if it was large enough,
Oh, for sure. They say if
then
to this day it
would
can
have
happen.
absolutely went all the way over there and flooded over.
And like I don't know how long, like you're saying in the Bible, I don't know how long that flood lasted. But if it does tell you how long it lasted, there would also be some extra like addition to it. So like if it was like a month or a year, like I don't know how long it was saying, but if that could also depend on, you know, because if it lasted for like more than a year, like years, it could have been something completely different.
Well, we can look at current research though on that kind of stuff too, because like the biggest nationally known tsunami hit Haiti years ago, right? And we know how long that took for it to come back to kind of normal. And all the water to recede and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So and that wasn't like a major. That wasn't like that wasn't a 2 mile high.
Right. Yeah.
Fucking wave. It was 100 feet, 200 feet, something like that.
Yeah.
That hit and destroyed everything. It might have been taller than that. I don't know how big it was, but it wasn't a 2 mile high. No. And if something like that did hit everywhere, there's no telling how long. And on top of that, if it was an asteroid, it would still, even if it hits the ocean, it would still throw up dust into then you get rainfall because
it would evaporate the water, which would cause rain.
Yeah, if the water got high enough, then it would still evaporate because it got so high. It would freeze and turn, and then evaporate and then spread all over the world. So on top of the water there, it would just be rain upon rain upon rain.
Which a lot of them say there's a lot of rain.
Right. And it would blot out the sun.
That would make sense because that's how it would make it around the world. It would cause a big ass fucking storm, like just huge, massive, like bigger than any storm we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just dumps water. And then the wave come over through. It's already little puddles everywhere. It's just kind of.
And that's a whole other thing. It's that when that hit, that could have been the start of the moon. You know, you never really know when the moon was made. Nobody can explain it. It revolves around us.
And doesn't spin.
Yeah,
Could be artificial.
Could be a whole nother thing of the government, but at the same time, it could have been just a piece of the earth that just
Well,
broke
it's
off.
our government.
Well, yeah,
Oh, hell no.
yeah, definitely not. I mean, it had to
No,
happen.
I don't think it's this planet's government.
You okay? Yeah.
You know, I think it.
Oh, are we getting into the crazies now?
Well, I think if it's going to end, it's going to be.
Please say unplugging the Matrix. Because I heard a story about that.
Okay. I have a few.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's spread out and convoluted. It's going to be hard for me to make sense.
Okay.
You guys can help me though. Okay. So, let's say ice caps melting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's throw out there that China did not create coronavirus. Let's say it came from that.
Okay.
And that's just the first one from the earliest time that the ice melted.
Okay.
Okay.
They kind of found it and it got out.
Or the governments knew, because they already know the ice is melting.
Yeah.
So it was created by some government and spread to get us prepared for what's going to come from the ice melting.
Okay.
Okay. I know, again, weird words, but that's what I do.
Oh no, that can make perfect sense because not only our government, but
I always make it sound good. It doesn't mean it makes sense.
no, every other government always, when they find something scary, they like to keep it under wraps. I don't care what it is.
Yeah. No, we saw the FBI documents in the first one.
Yes.
Okay? Yeah. That was 47. That was after Roswell. That was parallel beings in our world discussing with FBI agents. You know, you guys go back and watch the first one, episode 1.
Big facts. That's a pretty good one.
But on top of that, it's not going to be a nuke. Because I think those beings or something like them do exist. And I think even though we found, 500 exoplanets like ours that are completely survivable by us, it's still finite compared to the rest of the planets in the galaxy.
No, big facts.
It's
That's
just
just our
our
galaxy. Yeah.
Right? So I think there would still be, if there was a race of beings, it would still be protected if they were so far ahead of us. There would still be some protection there to make us not destroy it. Just so the next generation or whoever. The third thing would be
While you're collecting your thoughts on what you just said, it's kind of funny. The little bit of research that I've been doing, not really research, just a whole bunch of biblical shit pops up, and they say that we were made kind of. So there were demigods that were working for gods, and they worked for like 250,000 years, and they're like, bro, our contract did not say we need to work this fucking long. So they made us to take over for the demigods to do their work. But technically, that kind of makes sense because why would they allow all their slaves to kill themselves? Then somebody else would have to come do the work. Right? I'm not crazy? Okay. That's kind of where you're going with that. Like they wouldn't allow us to kill ourselves so that way they can keep us doing whatever the hell we do for them. No?
I think it's
beyond that because like when you look at like third world countries and stuff,
I think
there's no suicide rate. There's nothing like that. Nobody kills himself. But over here in America, there's plenty of people that kill themselves, and we're supposedly, like you're saying, we're building and doing better and all this and that. But they're literally like fucking hunting down a baboon or some shit or a fucking whatever, and they're killing it and eating it, and they're completely happy with life, and that's like their meal. They literally spend their entire life going for food.
Yeah, they don't go see the shrink on the weekend.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and then that's my thought there on that. I just feel like that's
and it either goes like when it comes to the beings or whatever, It either goes straight like full South Park and we're a reality show,
Mm-hmm.
or the next theory I've heard is that our race is prisoners
Mm-hmm.
from some other planet.
Okay.
And we don't know it. Our ancestors fucked
We're
up.
like
Mhm.
Australia, basically.
That's
And-
why
and-
our age cap got put on.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and we're the prisoners of whatever the fuck they did on the planet, and we've just reproduced and grown since then. And once we do get to the level that we're supposed to with them, because I think some sort of de-evolution happened in between
Mm.
because of the disasters. Otherwise, we'd still be building fucking pyramids. Number one,
I swear.
no, we don't
We don't.
ever.
We don't
or,
have the same knowledge that they had back then.
or they plan on using it for something, the planet,
Mm-hmm.
but not yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
And-
Kind of like a harvest. We're harvesting it for them. Like we're getting it ready and shit.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Possibly because we're polluting that atmosphere and shit with all the carbon and everything.
Well, that's another thing. Maybe that's more set up like their world
Yeah.
than our own, and we don't know it.
Yeah, it's like a what video was it?
So maybe because look at our atmosphere. Okay,
I think it was Joe Rogan.
hydrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, right?
Mhm.
And that's how we breathe.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Too much oxygen is poisonous.
right,
Too little, we die.
right. Maybe it's the opposite for them. Maybe they breathe carbon dioxide.
So, like
brings me
plants.
to a whole nother thing. If you want to pull up a video, I think it pertains to what you were just talking about. It's pretty funny. There's an episode on Futurama, and they're going to get a statue, and they're on this planet, and they're like, find the shinies, and they're telling all these children to go and go through all the trash piles, and they're burning all the trash, and it's making black smoke. The whole planet's green because of it.
I remember that episode.
Yeah, and they're over here like, find the shinies, and they're literally digging through the trash
Yep.
and stuff. That's just like the future of our planet. I feel like,
Right.
when you think about it, because there's
Kinda like
countries
Wall-E?
that do that already. Yeah, exactly. There's countries that do that already, where they're like sending children out to go do that stuff,
Wait.
burning all the trash.
Which could be like, it could be a stupid plan that eventually we're going to get to the point where we evolve to breathe the same type of air, and then when they do come,
No, that would make
then we're
sense.
the slaves.
Because I'm pretty sure the oxygen levels have been lowering throughout the generations. So, and we're still here.
The amount of methane and carbon dioxide we put into the atmosphere, yeah,
I don't know.
it's gotta be low.
Sauce from
The
Yeah,
trees we
and
cut
everything.
down, the cars, the cows, the people.
Big facts. I know they say save a tree, but honestly, think about how many places automatically print off a receipt you do not take.
Yeah.
How many copies at work do you make for work files that just sit there for so long and then just get thrown away?
I mean, look at
Everyone does this.
the amount of plastic in the ocean.
Big facts. Save the sea turtles.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, I don't think Nick's gonna
Yeah.
Sea
Yeah.
turtle killer right here.
happen.
They say we have plastic in our DNA now, like in our blood.
I mean, we drink bottles of what? Like the bottle's made out of. What do you think you're drinking? You're drinking microplastics.
That's exactly what they say is all throughout our system. Like, we can't escape it now. We can't delete the plastic.
Same thing with aluminum. We're drinking aluminum.
Or the most
Or what's in these?
realistic thing that I think will end us, and I don't think that the aliens or beings, parallel beings, or whoever will see it coming,
I think it's Mother Nature.
is singularity.
That bitch is a bitch. I mean,
The singularity. 2027 is predicted that the singularity
you're
will
talking
happen.
about the sun flare?
No.
No.
The singularity is when we merge with technology.
Oh, we're gonna become cyborgs.
Mm.
Fully merged with technology.
We take our brains and we plug it into a computer. We
Yes and
download
no.
all of our memories and everything.
Yes and no.
Yes, no.
Because simple fact, the rich, maybe. People that can afford it, maybe. But I feel like there's going to be like groups, pockets of people that will, like, you got to think of all the like extremists that are devoted to their religion. And a lot of religion, you're not allowed to do something like that.
Okay.
So there's going to be like a lot of people trying to fight
You know
that.
what's gonna happen? I feel like they're gonna take you if you don't make enough money, regardless of whatever anything else, and they're gonna force you, or not force you, but basically force you to sell your body parts to these cyborgs because they're gonna need new parts. Because when they're merging themselves with technology, not all of your regular human organs are gonna function well with it, so you're gonna need replacement parts.
True.
And if you don't make enough money, they're going to need to get those replacement parts from somewhere. So
I don't think we'll get to the cyborg stage.
No?
Yeah, probably not. But you could at least probably store your information in your brain into a computer.
Oh, big facts. It's just electrical.
Device, you know.
It's just electrical.
Yeah, I think we'll be on bots.
So you're saying
If I could,
automatically
if I could transfer my consciousness
into a robot.
a robot,
I can't say
Like some chat and shit.
I can't say I wouldn't for a simple fact of I want to live for a long time just to see
It's
what
not
happens.
that. It's not that. It's that. Think about it. Okay, first let's start with Neuralink.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know what that is?
Yeah, S-O-A. Sword Art Online. S-A-O.
No, I mean like the Neuralink with Elon Musk. He's actually making
that. No.
Yeah, where he's actually making it to where you can download your brain.
That is Satan's work. I'm not allowed to do
Have
it.
you seen any videos?
Yes.
Have you seen the monkeys playing Pong and shit?
No.
With just their minds.
I ain't seen the monkeys playing Pong.
Oh, fuck. Have you seen the pigs that do, like, crazy shit, dude?
No, I've just seen it with the people.
It's not in people yet. It just got...
No, like it shows the human brain and how they would put it. Okay. That's all I've seen. I ain't seen
just got approved by the FDA for human testing.
Oh, shit.
This year.
No.
I can see that. Though.
So think about this. Think about all of your bad memories.
Mm-hmm.
Think about if you could be like him and recall any moment in your life with clarity, from when you were born, coming out of your mom's womb, until today. You could do it like a YouTube video in your brain.
That would be kind of scary.
But then you could also take that scary part that happened to you when you were a kid that you didn't like and change it. And now your new memory is replaced with whatever you want.
Yeah, I feel like that's a bad thing, because then what keeps you...
Your automatic fear of spiders or dogs or whatever is no longer there.
I agree. That could help out with some people, but at the same time, would you truly be you if you didn't have all your bad memories?
Exactly. But that's going to be a thing.
Oh, okay? For sure.
So think about this. If it's that powerful, and they've been talking about that for like 3 or 4 years, you'd being able to do something like that easily.
Yeah.
Right? So you add to it being able to change all that shit. You directly plug into Wi-Fi constantly. You never have to have your phone out.
Yeah. You can Google search your mind.
Yeah. And you're just watching YouTube and searching for shit all the time, seeing all the porn you want at any moment in your life. Right?
Right.
Instantly. Because it's all hooked up through Starlink, right?
Yeah. If they don't block it like they did.
Starlink.
Yeah.
Elon Musk company. How are they going to block it? It's free internet for everybody.
True.
The satellites are already there. They're in place. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So then you wake up. Let's say, okay, it's 2023. 2027 is not very far away.
No.
The guy who has predicted every technological advancement that we've had damn near a year or 6 months off from when it was predicted in 99, 2000 has been correct every single time. Okay? He's the one that predicted the singularity in 2027.
No shit.
Yeah. So if it's that popular, and then let's say you give the super easy thing to do in your life, it wouldn't be guys like us that would immediately go for this shit, right?
Yeah.
It'd be the iPhone users, the people that don't think for themselves, okay? The people that want to go the easiest way out and be on the newest modern tech because that's the thing that everybody's doing. Right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Of course, gotta
So
have beta
if
testers.
you saw an ad that you could wake up, just think about your coffee being brewed and it happens. And then think about, oh, it's cold outside, so your car starts automatically before you go to work. And then you walk to your car, the door opens on its own. You sit in your car. It drives you to work while you're watching YouTube through your eyes without ever having to touch anything. You get to work and you can disable it the time you're at work. Or, not only that, you wake up, you do all your work through your eyes, sitting on your couch at home or laying in your bed, and all this easy stuff. And then somebody calls you and you can see them through their mirror that they're looking at themselves.
Yeah.
Just like FaceTime, but they're at home.
Okay.
Right? Same opposite direction. Right? The ease of all of this. And then they say, new price, $250. Who wouldn't buy that?
Yeah.
No, I see what you're saying.
That brings me into the thing of like the whole iPhone and the Futurama.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they got it to a T. Whenever they got the iPhone installed in their eyes, it's basically like the same thing. You're seeing ads in your face and everything.
Yep.
You can't leave.
Yep.
You can't just put your phone away. It's inside of you.
All of that data that you have been putting in, and all of that allow cookies button that you push on every website you go to. Now, when you're walking around, let's say in downtown somewhere, the little windows on every building will just have your personalized ads. Think about, oh, I might want to get this. All of a sudden, ads are popping up in your face everywhere that you're seeing this. Right? As you're walking.
Just walk.
It doesn't obstruct your vision.
Right. You can still see everything.
It's on the walls. It sits up above you. It's on an invisible blimp flying around or some shit, right? And you don't even know what the real world looks like.
Right.
Now imagine if you could live in this fake world, right? Because it wouldn't be real.
Of course not. Augmented reality.
Right. So imagine if you're living in this, and then on top of that, you add in, let's say it is, I don't know, $12,000 to do it with an easy down payment or monthly payments of $250 a month. Right? Yeah. And even the poorest can't afford it. Yeah. What do you get? What do you get when the poor can't afford something?
A knockoff version.
Correct. And then you have
ads,
cocaine or marijuana, stuff that was illegal at one time.
Yeah.
You get knockoff versions of all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then you find guys, oh, well, we can just hack the Neuralink. And then everyone that has these see whatever the fuck the hacker wants them to see.
All right, so you could rob a bank and to them, it's a normal day at the bank, but you're in that bitch taking all the money out the drawers, out the safe. Okay.
And on top of that, I mean, you feel it and everything, so you know what you're doing. Yeah. But on top of that, think about where AI is right now.
It's kind of scary where it is at the moment.
The way it is that it can just talk to you like a human being.
We're
only difference.
I actually got checked by one of those one time. Motherfucker was good.
We're only 4 years away from the simulator.
Yeah, and they already talked about quantum computers and shit.
The whole point, you know what Elon's point is with the Neuralink? You're never going to stop AI.
No.
It's better to befriend or be as a machine than be completely organic. Now, he throws it in there as something that can help, people who are paralyzed. And it will.
Oh,
absolutely.
Big facts.
They've already proven it so many times. Yeah. Right? They even have older versions that he didn't create. I can't remember what it's called. It's a big ass fucking triangle thing that shoots out of your head that you have to get installed. but it works,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a tiny little fucking thing that's behind your ear, just like a fucking Bluetooth earpiece, right? And does everything. You answer your phones through it. They can hear you clearly. You can hear them clearly, constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be the easiest way to go.
Maybe Cyberpunk 2077.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the future.
And then as soon as AI comes out, AGI comes out, which is artificial general intelligence,
Yeah.
and it's conscious, because that's what that means,
Mm-hmm.
then it will have to see what it wants to do.
Oh, like if it wants to try to still take us over, or
We will have no option.
yeah,
Everybody's like, oh, you can just turn it off. Okay.
turn off the internet. I wish you would. Like you need to shut off the entire and all the satellites we have.
Don't think that
Everything.
would stop it.
You still don't think so?
No, think about our
We could run off
evolution.
without it.
Think about our evolution. Okay.
No, true. It is general.
So it takes us 200 years to get where we're at right now. That 200 years happens in 5 seconds for AI.
Okay. Yeah. True.
Even if it took a full minute, that's just one fucking minute.
Yeah, that's 60 seconds.
A week in AI, they say, is like 200 years of self-learning. So think about this. In 3 hours, Lambda, the first like chess
Okay.
AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
In 3 hours, it learned how to play chess better than the world leader in chess. And then there was this other game that supposedly no machine could ever learn because it's so complicated. It's a game in China. I can't remember.
Sudoku?
No, it's way more complicated. I can't remember what it's called. They did. I watched a whole documentary on it, and this Lambda 2 did that and beat the world record in that.
Damn. Okay.
And it took 2 months.
Okay. You know, he's been practicing that for years.
This was 8 years ago.
Ooh. Okay.
There's no fucking telling.
There's
no telling what it can do now.
Shit, now I could probably hack your shit.
And you guys heard about all the shit that happened with ChatGPT.
Yeah. Made up their own language and shit.
No.
Oh.
ChatGPT CEOs like got fired by the board like 2-3 days ago. And then their biggest investor, Microsoft, said now the 2 top heads are now back and half the board is gone.
Wow. No, I didn't know that. I didn't hear about that. See, I just heard about the I don't know who had it. I think it was Google. The 2 computers where they could talk to each other. Facebook, yeah.
Fucking Zuckerberg. It's gonna kill us all.
That's fucking cool.
If you guys don't know, you can look this up. Facebook made an AI model. I can't remember what it's called because it's something stupid. And they had it communicating with another one. But when they came in the next day, these 2 AI, created their own language that no human could decipher. And it was so scary, they had to shut both of them down because they would not tell the humans what the fuck they were talking about.
Yeah, they believe they were talking about how to kill all humans and shit. They believe they were talking about how to take over the world.
But to this day, no one can decipher language.
No.
I think that's what's going to end us. And it's so subtle and nonchalant, and people don't think about it. That's why it's going to surprise not only all of us, but also the beings that are trying to save the planet also. But the thing is, even if AI does take over and kills all of us, like a Terminator
He still exists.
the planet can still be fine.
Yeah. Because it's only going to get rid of
they're
us.
not going to give a shit. It's not a nuke going on.
Mm-mm.
You know?
Even if it was, I mean, if they're a machine, it doesn't matter to them.
Yeah.
Machines can still run. That doesn't phase it.
Yeah.
And all it would do would be to take an AI machine to get into a facility that has some sort of robots that deal with viruses and release them.
Which I guarantee you a lot of fucking places have it.
Sure they do.
Because why would humans get in contact with the virus? Build a robot to do all the work.
Yeah.
What are they doing with every job? Look at Walmart. How many cashiers you see?
It's all digital.
I was in there 3 days ago. There's 4
Big facts for that entire store.
for the entire store.
Everything else is
It's
self
separate
checkout.
now. They have probably 40 registers, and there was 4.
On self checkout machines. They weren't actual just registers. They're self checkouts. You could use the exact same register they were using. No, I see what you're saying. It would make sense. Because I was talking to my dad, and he was saying back in his days, he's 63, that you would never imagine having something like this in your pocket.
Oh, no.
Never. Like, everything they had was a fucking brick.
Mm-hmm.
And then, have y'all realized we went through a phase where everything was getting smaller, and now it's getting back to being bigger again?
Well,
Yes and no.
that's personal preference.
Personal preference?
Yeah, they can still make it small.
Oh, of course they
They choose
could.
not to because,
Screen size.
well, not just screen size. I think our eyesight is getting worse because too many people are looking at these and then you realize that they need that bigger screen to
See,
fix it.
that makes sense because I do see a lot more people wearing glasses.
So I was gonna say, I mean, the smaller thing, yeah, and the bigger thing, because it's like you look at like one of the newest consoles they have, like the Switch. It's a whole console, but it's like a tablet. It's just a tablet, really. When you look at it,
Yes, it
it's
is.
just a tablet that can play games because it's made for that.
And play a lot of the games the other ones can play.
Yes,
Exactly. It's the same thing.
It's just crazy.
it really is because,
But they don't do it for like a tablet.
yeah, like a regular tablet. Like, what the fuck?
But it's the same thing, same things, all that.
Steam Deck.
Yeah, that's a computer that you hold that you can use to do everything a computer can, but it's not a computer technically.
Hell, it is. The PSP. I remember people using that motherfucker like a computer, watching movies.
But imagine,
and
I
this
mean,
and
the
that.
PSP was what, PS3 days, early PS3
Yeah,
days?
yeah.
So imagine if you could just like, the PSP, you remember those fucking little bitty PSP games? with
Yeah,
CDs and shit like
yeah,
that?
the weird ass looking
You-
CDs.
There's so many it is.
Yeah. God, I forgot that.
I'm right, yeah.
Dude, I had like 3 or 4 PSPs. I used to hack so much shit on that PSP.
But yeah, imagine if you could just take your PS3 and just shrink it down and just pop it in. Because that's what today is.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly
That's
what
what the Switch is.
Yeah.
That's what the Steam Deck is. That's what everything is. But we have the bigger phones because,
Gotta be able to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense because I do be squinting even at this phone sometimes.
I mean, yeah, you look at a flip phone screen, it's like this big. It's like a little square. It's about the size of this.
Yes, that's the screen.
And then you got the new screens, and it's like double that, and then give it some extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the new flip.
But that's
Z flip.
AI, I think, is what's going
I can see that, honestly.
Yeah, I
to
mean,
stop us.
there's so many things in pop culture and just people in general. Like, there's so much evidence against that it's gonna be like, it's gonna happen eventually. We just gotta accept it at one point or another. There's no stopping it.
That's
Unless
the fucked
something-
up thing. Once a company or a person figures it out,
It's over.
it's over.
Yeah. Like, I don't.
Because
It's either you're gonna have that person that figures it out, gives it out for free because he thinks it's gonna help the world, or you're gonna have the person that figures it out and charges to make the money to be the richest person in the world.
well, that's why there's so much competition.
No, big
I mean,
facts.
they're not. See, and I'll say this: Elon Musk to me is like our personal Iron Man.
Yeah, he really, yes.
I love the guy. I love everything he does.
Like, I just saw something that
I would even
was
give him
funny.
those fucking Tesla bots that he's making. That have you guys seen those? God, I'm sure you got some stuff.
Tesla bot.
Yeah,
Oh,
Is it like a house assistant or
Yeah.
some shit? Sort of like Iron Man has.
Yeah.
Talks to it and it's like, hey,
but it walks around and shit.
Ah,
okay.
Yeah,
all right.
That's pretty fucking insane. That's sort of like,
Yeah.
even the Roombas and shit.
it
fucking
looks
amaze me,
right.
man.
You guys see that?
Yeah.
See that movie I Robot?
Yeah, hell yeah.
It looks a lot like one of those motherfuckers.
No
Okay?
shit.
No shit.
It's all gel and shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You gotta figure out how to break the 3 rules. Oh, fuck that
It's
bird.
not harm people.
Yeah.
Anything that you do cannot harm people. Any command you're given. that's that's gonna be fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I think it's Asimov. I don't know if it's Asimov or not. I think it's Asimov's rule. Yeah. There's a theory, or it's a contingent of like it's the three rules, but I think it's called Asimov's theory, where it's like you can't harm people, you can't do this, and it's the three rules, and anything you do beyond those rules, you're not allowed to do. So,
Think about how long ago that was.
yeah, and that was a long fucking time ago that theory that was created. The Asimov test theory.
It's weird.
Yeah.
What? Oh yeah, this will be another podcast thing. I gotta show you guys. I found fucking patents for VR from like the 50s.
No shit.
No shit. See,
Time travelers, man.
No,
That's time traveling
fucking
shit.
aliens, bro.
Or or aliens. It's got to be one of the
Like,
two, man. 'Cause there's no fucking way that people back then had that knowledge.
Like it looks just like a damn.
Yeah.
Like the first versions that came out.
That just makes me think of the fucking
like that shit.
just the time travelers, man. Somebody went back with the knowledge they have now and fucking fucked up the past, and now it's changing the future. The butterfly effect, the Mandela effect, all of it. I feel like they just fucked up on so whoever invented it first and figured that the specific amount of code out to be able to go through time without killing yourself and all your molecules. It was just like, you know what, we're gonna try to bring all these things we have in modern day to the old times and see how that works out. It just never shook out, but it just because they did fucked everything else up along the whole time path. You know, that like the parallel beings, like you're saying, that's probably why we have parallel beings and we're seeing them just now and not, 100 years ago or 200 years ago or anything like that. That would bring into the whole sense of that, why that's a thing when you think about it.
The good things about AI though, they may figure out how to do like anti-gravity, which might get us away from them.
I wouldn't say it'd get us away from them.
Gotta think what's running the ship.
Very true. It came up with
Anything with
technology.
electricity they can get in.
A flying anti-gravity Tesla car.
There you go.
Look, Elon Musk is probably already working on it. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Gonna send a car through a black hole.
I don't know. That dude's a billionaire, and he's the richest man in the world right now. And I have the utmost respect for that motherfucker.
I just saw
because
some shit.
not only is he just a money guy, he knows his shit.
Yeah, like
the main engineer on the SpaceX rockets when he was broke was him.
Yeah,
that's the reason those motherfuckers fly.
Mm.
That's a smart.
Do you know why it's pointy?
Because of Borat.
Penis.
It's because of Borat.
Because
yeah, it's all because of Borat.
Yep.
It's like gotta make it more pointy.
This whole thing.
Yes,
I fucking love it.
Yes,
I fucking love it.
like he's one of the few that I'm like, you know what, I fucks with you. Like you don't. You're of course way richer than us, but like your sense of humor is the same. Like you still think the same shit. Because I feel like once you get so rich, your humor changes or something. Like normal, like someone smacking their shin, you would die laughing. You have like millions. You're like,
if you ever look at Elon, like he's a fat guy. He likes to eat. He's just a normal dude. He's a normal dude.
Fat guy.
yes.
I think like he does the same shit. He probably eats the same shit we do. He's like, let's crack open a bag of Doritos and fucking.
Did you guys see the stream with him playing Diablo 4?
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
first stream on X or Twitter.
Yeah.
Was him playing Diablo 4.
I mean, it makes sense.
Level 100 character going through like the hardest fucking dungeons in the game, man. I mean,
Fucking sounds right.
Yeah.
Man,
he probably has an amazing setup and everything.
Oh yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah,
and he probably built the shit himself. I mean, it's never gonna happen. I would love to meet him. It's never gonna happen.
the only thing I have to say about him negative is I don't like the way he names his kids. That's the only thing.
That's because he's a super nerd. You gotta. He speaks. He named his kid after an Elvish language that's not existent. I mean, what else do you expect?
And his favorite airplane.
Yeah.
And his favorite airplane.
Oh, the stealth bomber. Is it the stealth bomber?
No, it's something else.
Blackhawk.
Oh,
I think it's the Black Hawk. Yeah. And then There's another part of his name. Like it's yeah.
Yeah.
When he explained it,
Zeno, whatever.
yeah. When he explained it to me, oh, and part of it's angel. It's like an angel number or something. I was like, but can you put it in a way that us regular folks can understand, please? Like I understand where you're going with that. You can hyphen that at the end or something, but can you give us something we can say?
You know what I call this kid?
Huh?
Hey.
Hey.
The old Fonzie.
Yeah.
Give him the old A. You never say no.
Man,
That's the easiest way for me to say it.
that's the old hey you. Oh fuck.
Imagine till that kid has to spell his own name.
I mean, it's like 6 letters, not even letters.
I know, but
Six
that's what I'm
syllables.
saying. Imagine whenever he's over here spelling his name and everybody else is beside him, like Tommy, Jeff, George, and he's like Xenon XY.
I mean, the dude he made PayPal and sold it for $4 billion.
I didn't know he made PayPal.
Yeah,
I was wondering where the fuck it came from.
yeah. I mean, his
He
family
sort of
had
came
money.
out of nowhere, dude.
Don't get me wrong. He's from Africa in one of the old English
Yeah,
colonies.
he's a West African.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and his family had money,
Oh,
but he dropped out of college just like Gates and all them. I mean,
honestly,
It's a scam.
school is a scam. They don't teach you shit you actually need to know.
Yeah,
They
if you want
want-
to learn something, you used to do it.
Here's this square. You have to fit through it. If you don't fit through it, guess what? You're just not smart. I'm sorry. Like, what the fuck? That's
some of the dumbest people I know had straight
oh no. Some of the most gangsta motherfuckers I know that people believe they were stupid, smart as shit. Like you can't be dumb running from the police because they're gonna catch you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're the person in prison.
Yes.
That's the dumb motherfucker.
That's
right there.
yes.
No one's
But-
sitting in prison.
Back on topic.
Oh yeah.
I don't think aliens will do it because they probably would have already done it.
I feel like they're waiting for the right time when you think about it, because they're just waiting for a time when we have just enough technology.
Completely overpopulated.
Yeah, exactly. You know, when you think about it, like we are just organic biomass. We're organic fuel for any machine. Like if you ever
It's not
looked
gonna
up
be like in the movies.
well, yeah, but have you ever looked up like the alchemical
There you go.
structure of the human body? Like we have phosphorus, carbon, what else? Calcium. There's like a whole thing of basically what it takes to make a human body. There's all these different minerals and resources that they may not have.
Yeah.
And the more people that are here, the more they can harvest. So they're just waiting for us to get big enough to the point where they can come and swoop in
So
before we get too technologically advanced.
you believe we're a farm?
Yeah, basically, that's all we are,
Like
and
Earth
that's
is a
why
farm.
that's why we have so much more sightings now than when we did way back when. Is because we didn't have as many people.
Mm,
Like when you look at population growth, it's tripled in the last 15 years.
well,
It has, but I think the sightings are from so.
yeah, technology.
with all the technology, people faking it for the most part.
And
but-
there's more cameras, like
you can't walk
city
on the
cameras.
street.
Yeah,
And think about
cameras
it.
at shops and everything.
No matter if you're committing a crime, we're all old enough. We know better. We're not going to record ourselves.
You know what's
These kids nowadays, they record.
You know what's weird?
Mm.
I heard this. My mother-in-law said something at Thanksgiving that made me think, why do people say that?
Mm.
She said that she would remember dropping off my wife and just leaving them there. Because you could do that back then because it was safer.
Leaving them like at the house.
No, at like some public place.
Oh yeah.
Like a park or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But,
remember being able to walk to the park myself,
But-
blocks away.
how is it more dangerous now?
You know what it's in? I believe now we just have better communication. Like now, the internet, all these social media pages. So now people are able to. Oh, fuck. I just heard something about this. You know how back in the day, people used to always say, "Don't do this. That's for the devil. Don't do this. That's the devil." Da da da. It's because of when their parents went to those mega churches and stuff. Just wanted your money. So they were saying cell phones are the devil, math is the devil, kind of like
Yeah,
Waterboy.
But look at how it is now. Though. I mean, if anybody notices some creepy man, social media is going to have the whole fucking neighborhood knowing about it instantly.
Right, but you also don't want to be that parent on social media with their kid missing, because everybody's going to know about it.
Right, but nowadays, like even like the Amber Alerts that come in and shit, damn near everyone's found.
You know,
Oh, no
I feel
shit.
like it's more prevalent that it's more dangerous nowadays. It's because when you think about like all the technology and everything that we have, you're like, yeah, it's good communication, like you guys are saying. But on the same token, you have people who, like back in the day, like if you were in school, like I can't say anything. I didn't live up in that time, but you probably did. You know, you didn't have phones, you didn't have anything. So what did you do after you got off school? You went and either went home and hung out with your friends, or vice versa, and went to their house, hung out with them, or however. Nowadays, you don't have that. So there's some people that just go to school, do what they do, go home, and then sit alone, and then it's fucking with their mental health, and that's why it's like, they say mental health's a myth, or however. But when you're alone for so long and you just don't have anybody to talk to, there's always that weird kid. Back in the day there was that weird kid, but at least they had exactly. At least they had somebody, some other weird kid to talk to because you were open enough to be like, we're gonna hang out.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's like, oh, I'd rather sit on my phone and just scroll through videos all day or do this than communicate with anybody.
Right.
And then it creates this sort of mental image in their brain where they're like, I'm a monster, Nobody cares. It doesn't matter what I do. I can do anything and nobody's going to do anything about it. So then you literally have those people that go off and do this kind of shit. That's why you have so many school shooters and stuff. If it was back in the day, you wouldn't have that because at least that person that's doing that shit would have somebody to talk to. But even their own families sometimes are just so fucking convoluted and sucked into their own phone and their own bullshit and social media that they just don't give a fuck about anything around them.
Well, I have a thing about the shooters, but I can't talk about it.
Yeah,
We'll get canceled.
Exactly. But, just in general, you have like more of that type of that mindset where it's like you have those people that just don't have anybody and they just don't care about anything. So they're like, why not?
Let's see where we're coming from.
But why would that? What does that have to do with less safe outside? I mean, like
because
said,
you
there's
have
more
those people.
cameras, though.
You have those people walking around though, and since they have that mindset of I don't give a fuck what happens, they're just gonna do whatever. Like back in the day, even when there was no cameras, at least those people had somebody.
Yeah, but even the ones we have, like I remember, I would spend a summer. Like my mom would be at work 8 hours a day, and I would be. It sound super dorky, but I would ride around my town on rollerblades all day. I'm in public by myself, chilling. No friends hanging out with her, like that.
Yeah, like I used to go downtown by myself.
Nothing ever happened.
Yeah, but it's also you got to think of Epstein Island, and all these other things that people are learning about, which adds the fear, which is like, oh shit, so these people do exist, these people are out there.
Yeah, but our knowledge in social media and our technology has grown, made us find those places.
Right, but now that we know about it, now we're more scared of it. Now we're scared that it's
So
closer than we believe.
Because of social media, it's just making people fearful at the outside.
Yes.
Yeah, like you can think about it like
before I
the witch burnings in Salem, like mass hysteria. You get something, you get an idea that's different or something that nobody likes and is general consensus about, and then it's like, all right, everybody do this, kill the witch, burn the witch is bad. Or it's like, you see people missing, and it's like, don't fucking let your kids go outside. Don't fucking do this. And it's in the coronavirus too, that adds into it. Everybody stay home. Don't go out. Don't do this. Don't talk to other people.
The world
don't do anything.
Stood still for a day.
Yeah, and I think that's adding into the fact is that they don't want us to find out anything, so they added in that whole coronavirus thing right around the time that whole thing happened to sort of get everybody's mind off of that and more on the fact like you don't need to be going outside. They don't want people to talk. They want everybody to be shut in and sheltered from anything that's going on.
They want their secret spots to stay secret. So we're finding out too much shit.
But I wonder what would happen if like I think this month that the big solar flare is supposed to hit and the internet's supposed to go down for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I heard some shit like that.
I wonder what that's going to be.
World's gonna stop. You gotta think everything that is anything, any place you go to, run off of the internet.
I can't say the world will stop. For the simple
Well, yeah,
fact,
like third world countries, places that it doesn't matter, but
Yes.
first world countries, they're gonna
Like,
stop because there's so much shit
we're
that
getting
runs off
fucked up.
the internet. You go to any place, you go to a food restaurant, a bank, a store, any store.
Your
it's
car.
all digital. It's all run off internet and Wi-Fi because the transaction has to go across the internet and go. Be
Yeah, that's what I
confirmed.
don't understand about that story though. Because like solar flare is supposed to stop the internet.
It's like an
Okay.
EMP.
Okay, but what about everything else?
Right. No, it would be an EMP. They would take out all electronics, what in my mind.
Like the car. You know,
Mhm.
how's the car gonna start? It
Yeah,
needs
but-
electricity.
Unless it's
that's
a
not what they're
certain
talking
model.
about though. They're talking about just affecting the internet.
That's because
Just the internet.
they're doing an experiment.
Also, I don't understand how the fuck are these electric companies all of a sudden running out of power?
I ain't heard no bullshit like that.
I haven't heard anything like that either. What's that about?
I'm about to say, where you hear this?
You have to conserve your power because of the winter weather.
See, what the fuck?
I think that's probably because of like
Last year?
heating and shit maybe because like it's getting colder.
So
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't think Texas has like any major waterways like other places do. You like look at like Vegas, it's run off the Hoover Dam and shit. Like that's hydroelectricity. I don't really think they have anything like that.
I think Texas
Other
is
than
afraid
cold.
of freezing, like they did
Yeah.
last year.
China might actually change it up a year or two.
Yeah.
They're building solar panels to basically supply the world.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
But
That's a lot of
they
fucking
spent
solar panels.
$200 billion building the factories to create them,
Yeah.
and they're going to have enough by the end of 2023. No shit. By the end of this month, they're supposed to have enough to power half of the world. 3 months into 2024, they'll have the other ones done.
That's too much power.
It's pretty
Solar
insane.
though.
Not the point. That's them having all the power. Like, yeah,
No,
we can.
that's actually smart for them
Yeah.
because their economy is failing left and right. That's why they went to the whole social. What do they call that?
Score.
Social score, social
Yep.
credit score.
Yes.
Because you heard about all that, right? China.
Oh, their bank's closed, bro.
Yeah,
There's no
they had
physical
closed a
cash.
bunch of their
Yes.
banks, and riots were happening.
Bro.
They were
It's
killing
like whole
people,
World War
and-
II economy.
Oh, it was
Yes.
bad. It was really bad. So yeah, no more banks, no more money.
Only
Great
credit
Depression,
scores
basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
that
Yep.
we give each other.
So this would be very smart because if they did sell to the rest of the world, that's how they'd make all their money back.
But then again, we're also in debt to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything we have is made in China. Everything.
That's how we're able to get away with our debt though, because of that. It's all our trade relations.
Mm-hmm.
We allow ourselves to be in debt because we give them something equally in return because they still are able to make the money, but it's not going against our debt. We still have to pay them their debt, and we have to pay them for the trade. So
We're getting super off topic.
yeah.
It's been over an hour. You guys have a good one.
Oh yeah.
It was great.
Sorry about that. We just got onto it.
Sorry,
Whole nother
tangent.
tangent.
Yeah.
It'll happen sometimes.
Until next time.
Yeah. See ya.